I've decided I'm gonna do Usyk furry video. Basically, this is not so much related to Usyk and furry. This is more related to the world we live in. Basically, this is related to the British passport. It's not restricted to the British passport. I mean, British passport gets you, with the right people behind, gets you just about at any place, anytime, anywhere. How can I say? Corruption works. Corruption works. Slovenian President Borut Pahor stated, democracy works. Now let me demonstrate to you in the world of sports how it all works. It works in every segment of our life, and it will continue to decay our societies. I was going to say including the British one, but I'm going to stop short of that. Let's see how I'm going to do with this video here. For this here, for what you see right there, this is a beginning match, right? Round 1 of 12. I'm just going to thank to this man here. This is an American guy. I've seen he had posted a good commentary on oh, it's here. I don't know, is that Mike Tyson? There you have Tyson, you have Mike Tyson. Obviously he is cheering for Tyson Fury, and then you have hey guys, you're gonna be so fucking disappointed about this video. Then you have a Lennox Lewis. That's interesting too. I don't know whom he is cheering for. Interesting, because it's all about, did Usyk cheat? Tyson Fury feels cheated. You're cheat. Really, what is it here? Usyk gets caught using illegal inhaler in the corner. Yeah. Let me just Google this one more time, and then I guess I did found. Just bear with me. So if you are, whether you're a fan of boxing or you're not a fan of boxing, enjoy this video. See what schizophrenia looks like. So this is one guy here that pointed out something very important, I think. This is what it was like at the beginning of this boxing match. So these are the trunks. Or whether you like me or you don't like me, I agree with this individual here, because this here, you can call me schizophrenic, you can call me anything you want. This here, this is exactly how the match started. No, I'm doing this video because I want to demonstrate you the world we live in. Tyson Fury mentioned something about disagreeing with artificial intelligence, demanding for people to work instead of computers. His phrase and brainwash were involved in MKUltra brainwash. This is the video about, so that I can demonstrate to you how this British passport Lunacy passport works, operates.
By the review of that, absolutely shit. Here's one. Fuck all the computers. Keep the
He referred to me as a computer during MK Ultra.
humans going. What? More jobs for humans, less jobs for computers.
At the beginning of this video of his interview,
Yes, young man.
Furry looked normal. He looked much less schizophrenic than when a schizophrenia blew out of him. I mean, he at the end of the video is totally unrecognizable when compared to the beginning of the video.
What's next in your career? We're going to see you fight again.
A real
What's
schizo.
next for me? I'm going home. I'm having some time off. For sure. You might do, you might not do, who knows? We'll talk about that next year.
Let him have a nice rest.
This is fight home section. The question is, what is the difference between the last fight after 3 months private time? What's the difference between the last one and this one in your opinion? About everything, the moves, the fight, the rounds.
On the record, absolutely fuck all. 2 losses. So yeah, not a lot.
A massive performance, congratulations, but never mind, no worries.
Thank you, I appreciate you.
Yeah,
Yes? Sorry.
Yeah, sorry. So that's like my Arab news, but how has this experience changed your life as the period of time from the first match to this one? How's that
It's been good, you know, I've had a good life and it's been good time, good training. Thank you.
he was quite normal at the beginning. He was quite rational. He kept his illness at bay.
Next one.
What rounds would you give Tyson after the fifth?
Sorry?
What round did you give Tyson after the fifth?
What rounds did I give him?
After the 5th round.
After the 5th round.
Yeah, I mean, until his Frank Warren goes off.
I gave him at least 4 of them. That's how I see the fight. I mean, the last one he won. And that's how I see it. I just don't see how anybody can...
I am not going to comment on this guy, but this is a British passport. This is how the British asylum passport works. That's how it works. That's how it operates. You can see the videos about his comments, about his conduct. You can do that yourself. I'm not going to do it. What I like the best is this end here. One more time.
Judging fight in the future.
By the
119 to 1...
By the review of that, absolutely shit. Here's one. Fuck all the computers. Keep the humans going.
What?
More jobs for humans, less jobs for computers.
What was the score?
Let me demonstrate you the reality about where exactly this British asylum passport, how he operates, this grandeur, this British, the way they enforce the democracy. Oh, the first thing that you all know, that if you watch this match, if you typed inside Tyson Fury against Usyk live, the first thing that you got, what is it now already, how many days ago was this? It's like 2 days ago, right, that this match played out. Now it's the December the 23rd, 2024, right? So the first thing that you noticed, you in the Western Hemisphere, whether that be in USA or Britain or wherever you were, let's just do this here, and we're gonna change this. We're gonna put this to 21st. Actually, let's do it for 20, and we're gonna do here We're gonna do this to 17 like this. And I'll show you British schizophrenia, how they operate Jesus from the island of Britannia. The first thing that's gonna happen is, before this game started, we got flooded with the warnings. If you try to look at the game, they bombarded you with the warnings. Now, you couldn't see the match anywhere unless you paid for the service. But other than that, you got this kind of warnings issued everywhere. Stream warning issued in major crackdown of illegal viewing. So the first thing that Britannia did, the British Asylum passport did for the so-called free world, is they make sure that you would not cheat, that you would not get yourself a hold of the game, so that you could not see basically what happens. So the first thing that Britons did is they grabbed the sand and they fuck one in your eyes, make you blind. That's how the British schizophrenia operates. So you couldn't see the match. Now today is already 2 days after the match and you can still not see the fucking match, can you? Unless you paid the money or you get to steal somehow the match, you still don't get to see one. But the comments flood the internet. Everybody is saying, oh wow, Usyk cheated. Tyson Fury. I want you to understand how this British Asylum passport, for every one of fucking you, whether you are a citizen of the Britain or you're not, I want to demonstrate you the type of democracy, the psychiatric regime, the democracy, the psychiatry, basically how it operates. I wouldn't even call this corruption, this murderous Brussels, Strasbourg, London, Washington, D.C. democracy. I want you to see how it operates. I figure out this is going to be the best example for me to use to demonstrate in the world where we live. There is a reason for so many people dead under the bridges. The reason for that kind of stuff is Tyson Fury, a trash, a murderous garbage that pledges out there to go and murder, kill people, stamp upon people with load of lies, basically, flood the media, flood the news with the influx of lies, misrepresentation of reality, basically. I told you, Western mainstream media is a murderous machinery. Of whom main tool is a forced psychiatry, therefore a police, literally. It's a fog of lies through which the truth cannot penetrate. That's how they do it. They just load a lie atop of the lie, basically, and that's how it consists, this so-called Western democracy. No, I think that if you can't be objective about the sports like this anymore, I don't think you don't serve any fucking purpose. And we're gonna get down to the war in Ukraine. I'm gonna promise you in this video, I'm gonna touch down that too. Now this crime of this warnings is the way it all started, was actually programmed to be kicked off by the British royal known as Prince Andrew, who was supposed to go to the Saudi Arabia, but whom I fucked by posting on my blog. You can go through the posts and you're gonna see that I posted a news related to the Usyk Fury warning about his future departure to Saudi Arabia, where he attempted to rig the match at whatever costs. This goes under the warning which I posted on the blog, where I mention all kinds of filthy stuff Tyson Fury was using in the past. During the first match, you could see Tyson Fury stepping on the shoes of Alexander Usyk so that he could not step back, basically block him from moving his hand and stepping, moving away from punches, and then he would strike him and stuff like this. I mean, there never was a bigger scam. There never was a bigger scam artist. There never was a bigger criminal in the world of sports, in the world of boxing, than Tyson Fury, who lost who knows how many matches, including the first one against the Wilder. Yet he continued to win and win and win. There was no match Tyson Fury ever played that he would not use a dirty tricks, all sorts of issues which British passport allow him to. Yeah, they simply allow him to. That's how the British see the sports. Because it doesn't matter. What matters is that they win. That's all there is to it. We discussed the issue between the Tyson and Lennox Lewis right here at home, in this house here. One of the main issues that everybody agreed to, one of the main issues that Mike Tyson protested against, one of the main issues that Lennox Lewis even had to agree during MK Ultra, if I would mention, would have to give Tyson recognition, void his victory, and place one or draw because of me. It was the rigging of matches, which during the Mike Tyson and Lennox Lewis allowed Lennox Lewis to lean on Mike Tyson just like this, like you're about to see, and squash him. And we discussed this with the British royals in this house, this issue. We discussed this with all the sports people, this issue, because there are fans of boxing. And I'm surprised that it's not this. During the fight of Tyson Fury, Alexander Usyk, Tyson Fury used upgraded trick of Lennox Lewis. Let me demonstrate you. Let me demonstrate you what that looks like so that you get to see it.
Immunogard Krka, svet igral imunskega sistema.
How do you open your car door or window if you end up in the...
Yeah, they procrastinated. I'm going to be using Opera browser. I always did. And so this is what I get.
Tonight's challenger,
that's a video
the
separately.
Two-time heavyweight champion of the world, introducing the one and only Iron Mike.
Do you see what this is? Here? Mike Tyson is a cheater, for one thing. He alone loved to do the stuff, kidney punch from behind, a lot of illegal stuff. But this shit here, this is fucking unheard of. You gotta see this stuff here.
There's another one.
Okay. This here was not okay. This should lead to disqualification of Lennox Lewis. If I was a judge in there, I would see him doing this stuff twice. I would say to him, if I see you doing this stuff one more time, you're going to be disqualified automatically. I'm going to award victory to Mike Tyson. You do it one more time, you're out. That's a British passport. Look at the British passport, how it works. Let me demonstrate you how the British passport works. Do you see this? He went with his entire weight and leaned on him. In one of the rounds, he actually put his weight atop of him, basically causing him even spine injury, smashing him against the floor. That's how that's a British passport will allow you to do this stuff. In the case of Tyson Fury, for those of you that were not allowed to watch due to maybe warnings that you got, for which British government claim you're going to get all kinds of viruses on your computer while watching these videos, Tyson Fury went further, and he would do exactly what you have seen right there. And then what he would do is from underneath, he would start to punch him. So a little bit more sophisticated cheat than Lennox Lewis, for which I insist we have discussed inside of this house. That's actually impossible for anybody to win somebody like this. It's impossible because it's physically impossible to withstand this type of bullshit. I mean, imagine Lennox Lewis is quite a heavy guy. He's quite big. And imagine that you are doing boxing. He's so much taller, so much more difficult for you to reach up there, up in the skies. And what happens is he keeps throwing himself on you. After he throws the punches, the only thing he had to do is basically hug you and hang himself right atop of you. It's very, very bad. So the judge was, he truly was, how can I say, he was, I am not going to say anything. But this is how the British passport works. It did not work throughout entire play like this, though. This is maybe notable here, because it doesn't have to. To rig the game, all you have to do is few times like this till you gain considerable advantage over your opponent, and then you don't even have to do that anymore. You know.
Bobbing and weave, get close, make it raggedy.
His corner and saying, I've got it under control. You understand?
Well, Tyson is real low. You got to put your hands down where your man is. Emmanuel Stewart has given Lewis the permission to keep holding and tying him up.
Tyson still trying to figure out a way to get in.
Total punches in round two, according to CopyBot's punch stat. Lewis punched balance, and he used his jab a lot more. He showed Tyson a lot of tapes of himself back in the 80s.
He's doing out of instructions.
Lewis with a big right uppercut.
Lennox Lewis pushed Tyson away that time. That's what you got to do. Push him away. One body punch.
His footwork and his speed used to be such.
Job of out jabbing him now and being cautious. Tyson is desperate.
There's a lot of head movement. He was.
Also been punching the crap.
So he keeps doing the same shit. He keeps doing the same stuff, basically.
Tyson just can't find the distance. Tyson is out of the fight. You don't want to let him back in the fight. When you play around
and slow Tyson is a dangerous puncher.
Yeah, man. Let me explain. Let me demonstrate you. I'm gonna, because you're not gonna be allowed to see what happened. You must now basically. What you gotta do is you got to. Whether you like that or you don't like that, you are basically raped. To let me demonstrate how I like that Express UK. These are the guys that were extremely involved in it. Well, this is going to do it. This is going to do just fine. This is going to do it. You see what I'm saying. I made the point out of that one. Now, the way to see this match was for you to go to Google Translate, and then what you would do is you would enter inside Usyk, Fury, and you know, streaming live this and that, and then you would get to see the match. And I can assure you that it was exactly almost identical to what you have seen right there. Literally with Tyson Fury hugging at times Usyk and loading him from underneath. Something that we have not seen yet, but Tyson Fury would use occasionally. So I find this a little bit bizarre because we had all these people, including British royals, inside of our house discussing these things, and it just seems to me that...
Being able to block it with a glove there, Usyk, but he took a body shot on the... One of the big considerations coming in tonight was how would have...
I like that when he hugs him and then he starts to stuff him from underneath, from up with the uppercuts. So fucking illegal.
The answer is very impressive.
So bloody illegal. It's actually quite funny to see that stuff, but that's just the style he was using. Clenching his hands and all kinds of dirty stuff. Okay, I am going to put you the link below of the match, so that you yourself can see the whole game by yourself. I'm not going to be losing on this issue. I made the point. You're going to see this. You're going to watch the game and you're going to see it yourself that Tyson Fury was doing a dirty stuff. And it would not set me off if it wasn't for his schizophrenic attitude. I don't think that Frank Warren is guilty for that. I mean, it's just part of Tyson Fury. This is just the way it is. That's basically the way, you know. I actually, for this kind of sportsmanship, I don't have anything I would even add to it.
Green on a monument.
Look where he's got his pants at the beginning of the match.
Total last summer fear.
This is already round second.
Out for the first time since that with Joganu.
Got to push his opponent back into his team.
This is the round. What round is this? 3. Look where he's keeping the pants. The pants, they have a protection inside around the waist. That's not sporty. I mean, this judge right there. I mean, What the fuck is this guy doing inside in that ring? He's not doing a job.
Back into the corners occasionally. That's Tyson Fury.
Listen, he doesn't have to do the job because you're not allowed to see the game. They might have even opened some options for you to illegally stream and load you with the viruses to make the point out of it. Who knows?
Backhand of it.
This is a fifth game. Fifth round is this here. This is already a fifth round. Look.
Yeah, he's got.
See the chunks?
Usyk starting to soften him up a little bit. Body.
So he is going well past game. This is already, what round is this? He's going well past 6 rounds basically, with his trunks up illegally completely.
Yeah, could be the main shot in this contest. That was an absolute final minute in a 6 body shot again. Belter. He looks distressed in there right now, Usyk. Something we don't off champion, being tested to the limit by Tyson Fury. Yes. See, hardly ever. This brilliant.
Cleverly went back on the outside. He bought himself. It would appear he has, but Tyson Fury is definitely here.
Let's see what round is this
with
here.
every hurting in that looks
he's got to up the tempo probably, Fletcher, and put.
This is a 7th round. He still keeps the trunks up all the way. Let's just scroll up. Let's see where we are at.
But now it looks like Usyk is calm. I've got it 5-2 to Tyson Fury. He's hurt. He's been hurt several times.
So the 8th.
We are already, what round is this? 8th round?
Meeting Alexander Usyk in centre ring and landing two. Maybe he feels this is the
8th
time
round
to change gear. The clubbing shots.
This is the 8th round, look. This is the 8th round. That's what the 8th round looks like.
From Fury, we said it could be the most, certainly he's landed there. But Usyk finished the round well.
I'll finish 5 to go. Tyson Fury coming out firing here at the start. Strong.
So this is a 9 round.
Usyk's taking the best of Fury. He's still in there. Good shots from Usyk and the point landed.
Tyson Fury claimed that without having his pants up like that, the pants would not stay on his body, that they would slide down.
Again, and that just shook the head of Fury, the left hand in trouble.
But it's not bad, because the further that we go toward the end of the game, the lower his pants are.
Fury starts at the end of the round to his corner. One left, Steve. One left. A bit of quality situation tonight, but he had the lead at that point.
In this round, Fletch, who can raise their game. There's been some good stuff from finding his rhythm
This
in
is
this
a 12th round.
Up on his toes and Tyson Fury in this round.
And his pants are way more down than at the beginning of the match.
Right hand from Usyk just as Fury was moving away.
It looks quite different.
Fury.
Shock, isn't it? Fury a bit wild with that shot.
It's made Usyk take a couple of backward steps.
There. And it could be crucial now. Again, if there's a little bit of a clap.
I hope to see even more in the
when he is leaving the arena without the pants, it looks very, very different. He looks very, very different, but I want to see him with the pants on still, when he still have a pants on, if he's gonna demonstrate at the end of the match. Very, very normal, no? Very, very normal.
A kissing. Usyk looking to land the big one. The summit. It's what we hoped it would be.
You're gonna have to see that stuff yourself, the way it all ends, whatever. Now you know how to find yourself a free streaming, how you get that stuff done. Now listen up, folks. Some 20 years ago, Tyson Fury and Alexander Usyk met, got to know each other really well, with Tyson Fury traveling to Ukraine, meeting each other inside of our house. The two even pledged a bond, a friendship for one another, sympathy for one another. Well, on the side, Tyson Fury stated me, somebody asked him in front of me, so this is how it works, he said. Yeah, that's right. And the two of us meet 20 years later. Tyson Fury stated me, you can tell everyone the two of us met 20 years later, that's right. Well, Tyson Fury insisted. This was inside of our house. I don't know, it was Slovenian side I was asking him, so they gave him interviews. So this, you work so dedicated, you pledge your life so dedicated. And the trainers that were provided for Tyson Fury were provided just as in the case of John Fury by the British Royals. They got them the best. That's right. Both of us work our way up together. In case of Alexander Usyk, money was provided, obviously, connection strong enough to open him pattern to fights. I'm not saying that he was not assisted, because of course he was, by Ukrainian government also. He also got the best. I'm not going to say that he did not get the best, but the difference between the two is that Fury rigged about 30% at least of his fights. 30%. Every third fight Tyson Fury fought was rigged, stolen fight. As to Alexander Usyk, if you look at his fights are clean. His fights are dedicated to the ethics of clean boxing rules. So, the British Asylum, passport, the road to lunacy, self-extension, predicted that Alexander Usyk would won the first fight, and also predicted that Alexander Usyk would win the second fight. This is what the British schizophrenia looks like. This is what the British shiza looks like. I took it exactly at the end of the match. The words that are written right there. This is from Express Britannia, UK, Express UK. Matched exactly the brainwash I endured inside of this house by the journalists from Express UK. This, everything here that you see, the way this stuff is, the way it's going to be written, if it was this stuff that they brainwashed me with, they did not brainwash me much. They tried. I was not interested in their schizophrenia. But the way it looks, the message itself, that's exactly what they brainwashed me with. This, of course, doesn't make me any sense to demonstrate to you without demonstrating you this. This is what I encountered. I took the time of this stuff, everything, because I wanted to see this British passport, asylum passport. I wanted to register. I really wanted to remember basically the way this was the end of the match. And let me see here in the corner. December the 22nd, 2024. This is just as the match ended, something like that. Or I think, or no, actually the day after or wherever. With exactly the title which the British journalists, the so-called, they are journalists. This is a journalist, it's a journalists. When I fucking know the difference between the Western journalist and the professional assassin. If you meet these people, if you get to really know them. This is what they brainwashed me with during MK Ultra. They would open this great reality, virtual reality. Not the one that bothered Tyson Fury, but his computer reality. The one he does not want you to know about. And they would start to break me down the issues about how this and that. Claiming me. Not once, but repeatedly, over the course of the years. That they agree Alexander Usyk won the second match also. But that for the cost of winning his second match, Ukraine will lose the war. Now, I fucking dare you to dare me. If the stuff that I testify, this is a testimony, this is an MK Ultra testimony, was real or was not real. It's a fact, the stuff I'm talking to you about. Doing their best to convince literally Alexander Usyk to settle down for corruption issues, basically recognize and admit attempted cheat as legitimate. Yeah, exactly. If you do the stuff like this in front of the guy that is drugged up, and you have Alexander Usyk witnessing this stuff, and you have all kinds of people from police, from royalties, from politicians witnessing this stuff during MK Ultra, you get the proof that you wriggled, that you gave the victory to Alexander Usyk to sort of award him for being Ukrainian, fighting for his independence. That's what I call cheat. That's what I call big fat lie that was done to me so many times I cannot even count during MK Ultra. That's how you misinterpret That's how you steal. That's how you cheat. Even if you lose the fight, even if you don't win the fight, that you lose the fight, there is ability, there is chance for you to win the fight. This is, ladies and gentlemen, a British asylum passport. This is how British schizophrenia operates, and this is a schizophrenia, make no mistake, because despite losing the match, clearly losing the match, you outmatch with the lies the opponent. You continue to see the reality despite the reality for what it is, through the world of violent psychiatric lies, through the British asylum. That fucking sucks. That's not a democracy. That's not a democracy. This individual here participated. This Eddie Atlas. Michael Buffer participated. This individual participated in this. What you see here is not the intellect. What you see here is well prepared, well rehearsed, as it applies to every one of these geniuses. Inspected by the psychiatrist, by the psychologist, statements at the Atlas is issuing in front of the camera. What his speech, what he's doing, he did this stuff with me during MK Ultra so that I would recall, so that I would remember. It was not difficult for the British to make the prognosis about this stuff here. It was actually very easy stuff, because one of the two worked his ass off and the other one was resting his ass on pillow, cheated with the assistance of the judges of the system. Contrary to what he stated, he's going to work his way up. The two, that's right, and 20 years later, the two of us meet, working our way up. No, sir. No, Mr. Tyson Fury. You're a fucking cheat from since I remember you. You're the biggest cheat, the biggest con artist I have ever seen in the world of sports. Even Bas Rutten from Holland got to cheat through this case. Even he got to cheat and win through this case. Ladies and gentlemen, the world of sports is run by the British asylum passport. The world of sports is run by the British royals. And all through, they did not rig this game. They tried to rig one in your hearts, convince you about the reality that has nothing to do with reality, shamelessly repeating what many suggested during the first Tyson Fury and Usyk match. Tyson Fury reached 10-second knockout. The game, the first match, should not even continue at the point he got knocked out. And I can tell you that I know a little bit about boxing. The Tyson Fury who claimed me will be using that type of technology, which he did. He did go and throw himself also against the floor sometimes, and then started to frustrate the opponent. If he felt that he was strong enough, picking himself up from the floor was his trademark, was his way of convincing people that he is invincible, picking himself up from the floor. This is the stuff he was brainwashing me that he would be doing, that he would throw himself against the floor and then he would be picking himself up, frustrating the opponents to the degree that those would totally lose their character, their personality, etc., etc. This is okay. This is legal. This stuff is all legal. Even that he was using this kind of issues often when he would receive beating. He would do the stuff to buy himself like a precious seconds that would not even be damaging really to him, but he would interfere with through the judge that would stop so that he could continue the fight without minimalizing basically what otherwise could result in serious damaging. And this is okay. This is his right. This is fine. It's okay. It's legal. I'm not gonna play you this stuff. I'm gonna say to you, every one of these guys that count something was involved in this match, including Bass Rutten. Every one of them. And this stuff frequently was a cheatery. With never bigger cheatery that I have seen, witness to, than fight between Alexander Usyk, both of them, and Tyson Fury. Really based on training, really based on what went on. And British geniuses did not have a hard job to prognose, to see where the whole thing is going to take to. They already realized, talking about the British journalists, the so-called journalists, they already realized that their loser, talking about the 10 years ahead, 2014, 2015, that he doesn't have any fucking chance against Alexander Usyk. I don't actually even like Alexander Usyk, to be honest with you. I'm not crazy about Alexander Usyk, if you want to know. And you're not going to think that I'm some kind of fanatic, that this is because Ukraine or something like that. Honestly, I don't fucking like any one of these people. I don't like any one of you guys, because you guys are all fucking cheat. You cheated me of life. You cheated me of everything. And you did a lot of dirty stuff, all of you, to earn money, to profit from within. But it's one thing about me. I still cherish whatever is left of honesty about something. And I do so because I was cheated of life. I was so cheated of life that is impossible to explain. It's impossible to explain. So that is the stuff inside of me that simply disagrees with this type of gang, criminal, thuggery, treachery, swinery. When you are the best, absolutely the best, and you are still nobody, shit. British royalism, swinery, clearly can be seen. The cowardice, where it's coming from, where all those, when I was in the first grade, when I was in the kindergarten, when I was growing up, all the violence I faced inside of the school. If it was not 1, 2, 3 guys, it was 10, 20, or even entire school to prove the fucking point, right? I don't like this kind of stuff. You guys like it because you're descendants of gods. That's what these guys in Buckingham Palace are. They're descendants of gods. So naturally that you have also something to fight for. You have your statehood, your British state. You're British. You're not just anybody. You're Americans. You're not just anybody. So naturally that you think and you see things differently than I do. Just that this is not what I fought for. When I struggled with the Soviet Union, when I struggled with a greater Serbian ethnic state known as Yugoslavia. For the cost of this match is what British guaranteed me. It's going to be the Ukraine that's going to lose the war. Maybe because of my comment. I'm sure they did not like one. Yeah, you're gonna see this stuff by yourself. I don't want to fucking see this no more. I saw whatever I needed to see. You watch it yourself. In cases of many, that's how you prove the schizophrenia in one. In my case, this is how you break your teeth even more and you get wounded even more. But in cases of many, yeah, you would succeed with it. But in my case, this is how you break even more. This guy did not deserve to even have a match with a welder, really. With a Wilder. He's a cheat. He was a cheat in absolutely everything he cheated. If you ask me what is cheat, I would say to you, everything is cheat. There's nothing legitimate about this guy. He's a goof. Regular goof. And his father, despite everything he got, all the support from the top British trainers and everything, he couldn't fucking do anything. He was a loser. He went from one to another to beat the shit out of him. That's all it was to this great furry family. Alexander Usyk at least trained, at least something. Watch this. Then listen. Whatever they have to say. They steal your hearts first.
I'm not sure what the AI decided. What did the AI decide?
119 to 1.
118 to 112. But your thoughts on AI judging fights in the future?
By the review of that, absolutely shit. Here's one. Fuck all the computers. Keep the humans going. More jobs for humans, less jobs for computers. And fuck electric cars too while we're at it.
Let me introduce you to Boxing Showtimes.
He is basically saying, long live blacklisting, long live psychiatry, long live Holodomor, forced unemployment. lie, kill, and steal.
Watching.
Bob Arum scored the fight 8-4 to Tyson.
Oscar De La Hoya, who's a neutral.
Oscar De La Hoya stole fights too. I'm gonna put it this way. He was involved in MK Ultra too. I'm gonna put it this way. He did not won one single fucking round. And you see the rounds and be objective to it. He cheated. He didn't, and despite cheating, he did not win one single round. Inferior in every fucking round, 12 rounds. That's basically what makes you lose. The game. If this was the first game between the Fury and Usyk, it would be exactly Fury that would win one. But it was the second one to Usyk. And Usyk had a chance to beat British Asylum passport. Disgusting. Truly, truly, truly disgusting. It's like this with everything, even with the so-called human rights complaint that you sent to the Strasbourg, to the Brussels. They negotiated everything, and every crime they investigated with their police officers, investigators, commissioners, with their machinery, bureaucratic machinery, and that's basically the European, that's what they call the Nato and the European Union.